Hello world, thank you for joining us once again at D&D Beyond as we play House of Lament, the adventure in Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft, which is available now on the D&D Beyond marketplace. Make sure you go check it out. This book is a lot of fun. We all love it. Who are we? I'm Joe Starr. I am the content boy at D&D Beyond, and I am joined by an incredible team of content adults. Michael Galvis, Amy Dallin, and our community manager, Melly Doucette, joining us once again. If you're joining us for the first time, ever, you can find us doing cool stuff all the time here on our Twitch channel. We just built a custom domain of Dread with Taliesin from Critical Role. No big deal. Just talked through like the tips and tricks of monster design with the designers from Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. So all sorts of cool stuff happening on our Twitch, on our YouTube. Thank you for joining us. It's super fun. Also over on dndbeyond.com, there's new articles like every day to help enhance your game, whether you're a player or whether you're a DM. We have the incredible Michael Galvis to thank for that. All that said, I'm stoked to jump back into this game. I really like this book. I keep finding new little things in it every time I flip through it. Thank you so much, Wes, and the whole team over at Wizards for birthing it, putting it in our spooky little hands. We really appreciate it. All that said, look, guys, I know how to kill an intro. You know, this is the most on the rails I have ever been. And with one sip from my atmosphere setting, medieval times collector's cup, we'll jump back in to the House of Lament. To recap, 3 complete strangers drawn to a crossroads in the mist to the House Halvrist, the House of Lament. There, they encountered the mysterious, the enigmatic Van Richten, who is there investigating the mysterious disappearance of the owners of the home, the Halvrists. You met him in the parlor and have begun exploring the house, and it seems like the further the 3 of you explore, the more that the explanation that some sort of magic user is hiding in the house playing tricks on the 3 of you seems to be more and more unlikely. You've encountered Van Richten's son and learned a little more about the strange relationship between the 2 of them before you and your employer, Van Richten. Well, 2 of you are currently employed by Van Richten. One of you is just here because she ought to be. You sat down and began a seance, which the house seems to have responded very strongly to. And as Jacqueline uttered the sentence, "What is a witch stone? I've never heard of such a thing," a portrait in the parlor crashed to the ground. And that is where we will resume our trip into the mists and our trip to the House of Lament. Van Richten looks up with a start as the portrait falls to the ground, but his body language doesn't betray any kind of fear or alarm, just more an awareness, a keen awareness. His eyes still seemingly a little bright from the former darkness of the room, now having returned to its typical ambiance. The lanterns on the walls bringing light back into the room. The spirit board is still at the center of the table, along with the planchette that young Eli found in the woods. Still sitting on the spirit board. The 4 of you sitting at the table. Van Richten looking at the 3 of you and at the portrait thoughtfully.
Oh, don't worry about the portrait, you guys. Eli's going to get up and he's going to start moving about, checking about the room. I want to see if there's any type of materials maybe I can put together, like maybe a stand for the portrait so I could put it back on the wall, a little more sturdy than it was before. I'm
Sure.
going to use
Would you roll your mending
I wanted
badge?
to use my background feature, MacGyver. So my time in the Scouts has taught me how to make use of even the most mundane objects around me. If I need to make or repair an object or mechanism, but don't have the necessary equipment on hand, I can MacGyver a solution with the DM's discretion.
I love this. Please roll a perception check.
Okay. That is an 8 perception.
Sure. So, Eli, the two of you and Van Richten sort of watch as Eli. Oh, no, it's okay. I'll take care of it. Sort of finds a few odds and ends, clearly trying to sort of jury rig some sort of new solution for this portrait, which includes trying to put the portrait back on the wall, which clearly does not work. It's almost completely what the nail it was hanging on is completely pulled out of the wall. Ultimately, Eli sort of gives up after a moment and sort of gingerly rests the portrait in the chair he was previously sitting in. So now the portrait is sitting at the seance table with everyone, and he sort of casually stands next to it.
I wanted to stand
sorry,
anyway.
Which portrait is this?
Are you asking me, or are you asking Van Richten?
Yes, I'm asking you. I guess, yes. Do we know who this portrait is of? First off, just by looking at it, who is in it, and then
it is. Roll a perception check for me.
Oh, sure. I have not gotten luckier since last week. I'm continuing my streak of natural ones.
Wow.
And I have stress, so that'll be a total of 2. Humans all look the same sometimes.
It is a dice rolls are fun. It's a immediately looking at the portrait. It's of a human woman. She's wearing a purple dress. She looks sad.
Van Richten?
As you break away from the portrait, you realize that Van Richten is sort of watching you expectantly.
Very impressive. Quite believable. So, I suppose you can tell us then what Witchstone is, and if this portrait gag has anything of more importance to it, or if it's just for show.
He sort of clasps his fingers in front of his face for a moment and rests his chin against it, sort of in thought for a moment. Interesting. And while perhaps apparently there is nothing else of import to this portrait, I confess I do not know what the Witchstone is, but it seems that you have been tasked by this woman to find it.
You got all that out of sleeping furniture?
Call it intuition. Once you have attended enough seances, you learn where to sit, so to speak.
I look at my own chair suddenly. What's that
Eli's
supposed
a
to mean?
little uncomfortable being the one standing.
Well, that was all fun and games. I suppose if we're going to sort out what a Witchstone is, you need to look around since you don't seem to know, unless Eli or Rip, you happen to have that sort of esoteric knowledge just handy.
I don't.
Then we
but
look around. Yes?
Joe, I assume
Ms.
I've
Montag.
never heard of a witch stone, right?
No. No, you have not.
Seen plenty of rocks, big ones, small ones. Never one by that description.
I would assume, Ms. Grumble, that it is somewhere on the grounds.
Sure. The leaping furniture told you.
The leaping furniture told me.
You can tell that Rip is still trying to bravado back, but she's witnessed something try to hurt her new friends. So she's trying to walk this line of laughing it off, but getting at the truth, because she's not as sure as she was before she walked in here of what exactly is behind it. But she's gonna keep trying to act as if she's super on top of this.
Right on. Well, before we are accosted by any more leaping furniture, I would suggest we take the advice of our visitor. We are guests in their home, after all, and find this witch stone.
So convenient. Yes, let's take a look around. There was an office upstairs. Might have something of import in the shelves or desk drawers. Rip, Eli, you interested?
Well, maybe we should check out front. There's all sorts of rocks out there.
I'm not opposed, but I feel like finding one stone among many may be more difficult than finding a stone among not stones.
Well said, Miss Montag.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Not that you must. If you'd like to go outside, I'm not going to stop you. We can split up. And I'm just gonna I look over at Van Richten for his reaction to that suggestion.
Insight check.
Great. Uh, 15 minus 1 for stress, 14.
You get 2 reads off of Van Richten. One, you see, as you suggested, sort of split up. You just sort of see like the slightest of eyebrow raises at that idea. But 2, you realize that since you examined the portrait, he has just, even when talking to Rip and sort of listening to the plan, hasn't really taken his eyes off of you.
So, what do you all think? Should we split up or stay together?
I'd rather not let either of you out of my sight, if I get a choice in the matter.
I could do just a quick look outside. It doesn't have to be long, and you could watch from the window. You don't want to be outdoors. I don't want to push it though, Jacqueline. I don't want to. I just thought maybe if we were to look for a stone, outside could be.
Absolutely. Perhaps we can send Erasmus with you. You can go 2 and 2.
Sure. Yeah.
Where did he go?
Where has he gone to?
Yeah, I'm gonna step out of this room and just look around, see if I can see any sign of Erasmus.
No.
Erasmus!
Well, young Eli, we'll
Sure.
be watching
Yeah,
from the
I'll be
windows.
quick. Okay. Yeah.
Miss Scrumble, a moment.
He's just gonna go while you guys chat.
So as Jacqueline has sort of stepped out of the parlor, Eli runs past her. Miss Scrumble, the briefest of moments.
What can I do for you?
When you look at the portrait, What do you see?
I'm gonna turn and check it out. Just, do I see what you
Roll a
described?
perception check for me.
All right. If you make me miss something bad happening to Eli. Ooh. How about a 12?
You see...
Unless this would...
Didn't I give you a... You don't have to use it, but didn't I give everyone inspiration?
You sure did. I'll take that
You
hint.
don't have to use it here. I mean,
let's
I'm not trying to
re-roll that
lead.
thing. I'm gonna roll it one more time just to see. How about a 22?
You see a woman in a purple dress. She has this black veil over her eyes. Although the veil is fairly the material, the lace is fairly see-through. You can still see her face. This deep air of sadness strikes you. But most importantly, you notice that she is posed with a violin. Around the bow of that violin, several raven feathers are wrapped. On the side of the violin, you notice initials. Not carved, like fancy-like, like it, initials engraved, like someone took the violin to Things Remembered at the mall. And I think that's a generational joke. But there is a a TH engraved in the violin. And as you're looking at it for a moment, you have absolutely seen this violin before.
This. How old is this painting to the eye? New
Probably...
or quite old or extremely old?
It seems fairly old. It seems actually, hold on. I can give you an exact
truly
number.
Rip can't nail this down to the decade. She's, as much as I want to be use her knowledge of costume history, she doesn't have it.
Right.
But she could still have a sense of not painted yesterday to all appearances.
Right. Definitely not painted yesterday. It looks like when Rip was younger, she visited her grandparents' home once or twice. Probably not the most tight-knit family of gnomes, but she does remember sort of that sense of oh, this belongs to my grandparents, or my great-grandparents, or it was an heirloom in their home. So you kind of get this sense of generational age from the portrait.
And you've both passed out of the room, right? Eli's out front, and I'm gonna go tearing into the parlor. Miss Montag! Your fiddle, please?
It's a violin. And no, you can't have it. What is going on?
I just want to see it. Just show it to me.
Right. Sling the case off my shoulder and I'll gently pull it out.
I'm gonna look for it and point. Does it have letters on it?
It does.
Who is TH?
We cut to the front porch. Eli, what are you doing?
Eli expects that this witch stone would be hidden somewhere. So if there's any bushes that have gravel or anything of the sort, he's gonna try and crawl behind them and be checking their roots.
Great. So you are so you're checking around sort of like in front of the porch, checking through. There's lots of sort of what were once like evergreen, pine bushes and things like that are now sort of either near to death or dead. And as you are looking around the porch, will you please roll a perception check?
I'm so good at those.
I know.
0.
Wow. So, the
Ow!
porch is very... you walk directly into the wall of the house. Everything, the overshoot of the porch is covered in dead vines. Otherwise, pretty unremarkable. That said, after doing a little bit of crawling and searching and looking around, on the other end of the porch, as the porch starts to wrap around to the side of the house, you find the opening of a crawl space about 3 feet high.
Oh. I look behind me. I'm just double checking that someone hasn't come to check up on me.
Not that you can tell.
I'm gonna curiously peek in. It's only been a couple minutes, maybe. I'm gonna see if I can open the, this grate into the crawl space.
As you make your way into the crawl space, you reach in, you rest your hand against the ground and it sinks into the dirt. You pull yourself into the crawl space and reach out again. Your hand sinks into the dirt. As you crawl under a little further, you push your hand down and it sinks into it. It doesn't quite feel like dirt. You feel sort of something small, like sort of something squish under your hands.
Ew. I don't have dark vision. Am I able to see at all in this area?
Just a little bit, just enough to sort of see, you look at your hand after you wipe it off because you're a kid and I'm assuming that that's something that you would do. You sort of just see like this smear across your hand from when it went into the ground, but there's little bits of whatever it is that you pushed your hand in kind of still on your hand. And it looks like you've seen, from books and obviously camping and your experience in Kids Have Spirits on trips, they look like little egg sacs from some kind of insect.
Oh, that's kind of gross. Do I know what kind of insect it might be?
Roll a nature check.
Please don't say rock grub. Please don't say rock grub.
7.
You're not quite sure, but as you put your other hand down to sort of figure this out, and that hand squishes as well. And as you are sort of like looking at your hands, really just trying to figure out like what this is, you start to feel, brushing through the hairs of your hand, some things crawling up your arm. Eli, will you roll for initiative, please?
Oh no. A 16.
16?
Hmm?
Awesome. Okay. Okay. So it just takes a moment. All of a sudden, you sort of look at your hand. All of a sudden, your hand is just crawling, and you realize that making their way almost like angrily up your hand is like it starts to actually even sting and itch a little bit. Just this like swarm of maggots like making their way, twisting up your arm, almost like a single entity, sort of starting to consume you. Almost. And as you sort of start to feel that sting intensify, I'm assuming that a 7 is unable to hit.
No, it does not. I quickly just swipe them off. Even as they're crawling back onto me, I'm just... Oh.
In the little bit of light you do see, Eli, you can tell that the entire bottom of the porch is crawling, and as you start to move your way back, you can start to feel them crawling up your back. It is your turn.
Oh no! I'm going to be retreating, but before I start, I use my movement. I'm going to cast Beast Speech on Speak with Animals. It's one of my invocations. And I'm going to shout, "Oh, yeah, what are these things? Oh, help me, please!" And then I will turn and start crawling as I try and like swipe these things off of me.
Okay,
did
so
you
as
shout
you
that
are,
in a way we could hear, or did you shout that in a way they could understand?
In a way that if there are any animals under here, that they would understand.
Nothing sort of immediately responds, but as you are pulling your way out of the porch, just these things moving closer and closer and just staying on you, you pull yourself out of the porch, and the swarm just of them just like pours out of the crawl space as if a spout had been turned on. Pouring into the sky and almost sort of like spreading out and vanishing for the moment.
Just going to press myself up against the wall. You got this, Eli. Don't let them know. You have to know that you're brave. You've got to get this badge. I'm going to...
I don't know if that was brave or just stupid.
Huh? Who said that?
You look up, and the horse tied to near Van Richten's carriage is sort of just standing and staring at you.
Oh, thank goodness. You won't tell the others, will you? They have to get this badge, you know?
The horse kind of looks at you for a moment, wanders away to go do horse things.
I'm gonna look back in the crawl space.
Okay. You look inside. Roll one more perception check for me, Eli. They've really done well for you so far.
0.
And I was never heard from again.
To the best that you can tell, the crawl space is now empty.
How am I doing on time?
I mean, you're a kid, right? Like, a half hour kind of seems like 30 seconds.
All right, I'm gonna crawl back in. I'm gonna find something. I just know it. I'm just gonna peek back in if I see any more. Just another minute.
As you move back into the crawl space, you still sort of find that point where you were crawling through those swarms of eggs, but it seems now that all of this is hatched, you're just sort of like crawling through the muck of it. That said, as you move forward, sort of wriggling forward, you find yourself in a smaller space, Eli. That tingle of anxiety and panic starting to raise up on the back of your neck as you remind yourself that tight spaces are not a place that you necessarily like to be. That said, sort of shaking your way through this, pulling yourself through this crawl space, you find yourself under what you were assuming is near the front door because the light from the house is starting to pour its way in, and you find what looks to be a rectangle almost shape of gray dust, which is also covered in long dead gnats, mosquitoes, various bugs, flies, just like crunchy, ancient and dead, almost dust, but clearly like this space, which we'll describe as, say, grave-sized, completely different from the rest of the dirt under the crawl space.
You said, I'm sorry, the triangle, how was that formed with dust?
Oh, it's like a rectangle shape. So it's like gray dust. It's like this big sort of rectangle. It looks like, very purposefully different from the rest of the dirt that you've been crawling through in the crawl space.
This looks a little suspicious. I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna try and search this area. I will dig a bit if I need to, if there's nothing immediately apparent.
There's nothing immediately apparent, and as you start digging and sort of committing yourself to that, Rip, you're looking at Jacqueline's violin, and there are the letters, clear as day.
Who is TH?
Joe would, is that something that, my father would have told me in the past, or?
No. You received the violin without a whole lot of explanation, or fanfare. When you yourself received the violin, well, how did you react when you received the violin, when that was your inheritance?
Well, I mean, it was definitely the thing she always wanted the most. It was kind of her main connection with her father, but it was also, hey, here's a violin, and everybody else gets an actual inheritance. So it's a little bittersweet.
Then, yeah, I'd say in that case, then, it's something that you have, held and interacted with your whole life. I'd say the engraving has always been there. Your father never really spoke about it. And you've never really kind of given it more than a fleeting thought.
It's just a distant ancestor. It's a family heirloom.
A family heirloom? The Montags?
Yes.
Or the Halfress? And I want to grab your arm and drag you back into the other room, if I can. Hopefully taking you by surprise in doing that, and drag you back in and park you in front of the portrait and point. And what's it doing here?
I swear, I don't know. I didn't even notice that when I was looking at the portrait earlier. I don't know what TH is. It was handed down to me, and I thought that it was a family heirloom. I'm not lying to you. I don't know.
Who lured you here?
Nobody lured me here. I came of my own choice, of my own volition. My father... There are papers and notes and other things that I thought perhaps this was going to be my chance to make something of myself again. You know, a house I could start off. And then, you know, I met you all and then Van Richten here, and nobody actually seems to know what's going on. Nobody has the deed. Nobody knows anything of this place.
Van Richten is just sitting by the fireplace reading a book.
So a letter from me, a letter for you. And Rip looks around. Eli! Where's Eli?
Oh no. I'm gonna go run outside.
Right behind you.
Great. The two of you run outside. You don't see anything.
Eli?
You do
Sorry,
hear
that
like a
kid.
weird sort of like scuffling below your feet.
Eli?
I found anything yet?
I look and see if there's
Yeah, a few
if there's
minutes
any
have gone
tracks or
by.
a trail.
Roll a nature check for me. Well, no, a perception check.
Okay.
Is that
Boom. 13 minus 1 for stress. 12.
You do your best to sort of like sort of retrace Eli's steps, and it's mostly more intuition than like you found a trail. You know, you sort of look around the side of the house on the porch, you don't see him. You make your way sort of down the steps. You do see the crawl space. And Eli, as you are digging, a few minutes go by, and your hand touches something that feels like steel. Like metal.
I'm gonna try and pull it out.
Roll strength for me. Strength check.
$14.
Okay. It takes a moment because whatever it is kind of heavy, but sort of like pulling like very slowly out of the dirt. You pull an axe out of this hole that you've dug under the porch.
I look about me, seeing the space. It feels like the walls are kind of like closing in. Okay, I think that's enough. Okay. And it, oh no, oh no. I'm just gonna start just curling up into a ball, holding this axe, like, oh,
Rip, you can hear
hello?
that. You can both hear that.
Rip. And I'll point at the crawl space. He wouldn't be that stupid, would he?
I did a lot of dumb things when I was a kid, as I'm diving for it. I'm gonna gesture like, stay here. I drag him out.
Oh,
with
yes,
my
I'll
bare
hold down
hands
the
and give
fort.
him such a talking to.
Eli? Eli. Hey, are you all right?
No. I don't like it down here.
I know you don't. I know you don't. But hey, you're my bravest friend. You're my bravest friend in Scouts, Eli.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
You're down here with me. Everything's okay.
Everything's okay. I got here. I found my way here, okay?
I was waiting
Just
for you.
like you did. I know.
I'm going to look up to see my friend who's finally here.
You do see your friend, Rip, who has crawled under the porch through the crawl space to find you.
Now what you going to this for?
Where is he? He was just right here with me.
Who now?
My friend. I was waiting for him. He was behind us. He got lost a bit, but he must have caught up with us.
Eli, ain't no one here.
I heard him. He must be in the house then. He must have been talking through the floorboards. We should go back.
It's just Miss Montag up there.
Oh, you're down here,
Rip,
so maybe
did
he.
you find him? Can you hear me?
We found him. You got any company up there?
Just a horse. Horses.
Your friend a horse?
Oh, not that one. But look, you can see the floorboards from the inside of the house. If the miss is just outside, then he probably just snuck past her.
Could be, I guess.
Could
You
we just
okay?
get out, though?
Yeah. I'm gonna
But
reach out my
don't let her
hand.
know. I'll take it. And you can see that I'm holding an axe in the other hand.
Ooh, where did you get that guy?
It's no moonstone, but maybe it's a clue.
Let's take a look once we get outside. Let's get out.
Yeah. Okay.
Crawling under porches. I'm gonna try to help you out of the crawl space. Hmm?
It takes a moment, but you're able to get out. I do want you to note that point of stress, Eli. But eventually, the two of you are dirty and dusty, but safe. Right in front of the porch with Jacqueline. Eli holding
let's see
this
the buried
enormous
treasure.
axe.
Yeah. I'll hold it out. I won't pass it over, but I'll just hold it out so that we can all take a look at it.
I just noticed how grimy
is.
your hands are. It's so gross. I just tap you on the head with my cane and cast Prestidigitation, and then I do the same for Rip.
Again? You're
It's-
better
yeah,
than
both
any
of you-
scullery
both of
maid
you,
I've ever met.
I should hope so.
Clean as possible. Rip totally clean, and Eli as clean as the day the two of you met him. The axe is sort of this large battle axe. It's a nasty looking piece of work. It is adorned and embossed the blade is embossed with like these like misshapen, almost demonic in nature looking toads, all like salivating what you can assume is, some kind of poison, and the poisons all sort of run to the bottom of the battle axe and look to be sort of like pulling on the bottom of the blade on each side, and the shaft is sort of wrapped in this black leather, which is in surprisingly good shape considering it's a big axe that you found buried under a haunted house.
Kind of nice, isn't it?
What to make of that?
I mean, perhaps it belonged to, what's his name? Dranzorg? He sounds like the type who would have a big old axe. Dranzorg, the axe wielder.
Not sure what he's doing burying it under his porch, but one more weapon for us is one fewer weapon for somebody else, eh?
I suppose so. Did you find any stones, Eli?
I'm afraid I didn't.
It's all right.
Montag, sorry.
It's fine. I'm glad that you weren't dead in there. It can be dangerous. Just maybe don't go into small, enclosed spaces out of sight. It's dangerous. I didn't want to lose you.
Yeah. Well, I can take care of myself.
I'm sure you
Sure
can.
you can. No good being alone like that.
You're right.
Taking it, Eli.
Scouts should stick together.
Should
Do you
we,
want this, Rip? I'm afraid it's a bit too big for me. I mean, it's perfect. It's the perfect size for you.
Does this... yeah, I would love to take a look at this, Joe.
It definitely feels I mean it's hefty, but it feels, almost like eager to the touch. You feel like it might take a little bit of time to figure out sort of what exactly the axe's deal is, but it definitely seems like, if the embossed demon toads weren't a giveaway, it definitely seems like there's a lot more to the axe than just sort of a cursory look. But as you take the axe, Rip, you see from inside the front door a man walk through the foyer.
Oh, Eli, your friend! Hey there! Does he turn?
I'm gonna run ahead. Hey, we're over here. We're over here.
Eli, you see up the steps in the foyer, just past the eagle statue with antlers. There is a well-dressed man standing at the top of the steps. You don't recognize him. He looks like your family is fairly outdoorsy, and he looks like he's wearing sort of the same kind of like gear your dad might wear if it's time to go out for like a trip or a hike.
But not is he wearing like a scout uniform?
No, just like fancy outdoor clothes.
Okay. Oh,
I'm right behind you.
hello. My name's Eli.
Is that him?
Oh no. Oh no. My friend is much younger. This guy's old. Sorry. I'm Eli. This is Rip. Uh, and I just indicate to Jacqueline, as I kind of, I'm sorry. What are you here for?
Kind of gives you a nod, in recognition. As you introduce yourself. Just a polite nod. Jacqueline, have you come back into the house? Is everybody back in?
Yeah, I'm pulling up the rear. I'll close the door behind us.
Cool. He gives Rip sort of a polite hello. Rip, you recognize the gesture almost immediately. In those moments between worlds where someone from the very nice side of town has to come near the docks to do some kind of business. There's that air of like polite, I'm above you. I acknowledge you exist, but do I have to? There's a lot in that gesture, right?
Not in my direction. Yeah.
Yes. The bare minimum acknowledgement that you are breathing. And Jacqueline, as you close the door, he speaks. Jacqueline, it's good to see you. I suppose we need to talk, yes?
I'm sorry, who is this?
It's your brother, Sasha.
Yeah, so like I turn from closing the door and I just see him and I freeze. Like I look like I was gonna, apologize and say, oh, we haven't met. But as soon as I see him, I'm just like frozen.
He turns and walks further down the hallway into the second floor of the house.
Miss Montag?
It's, this will just be a moment. I'll, you... Would you both excuse me? And I'm just gonna try to rush past them up the stairs.
I'm insistently just as you probably attempt to just pretend I don't exist, I'm directly behind you trying to follow you up the stairs.
How about you, Eli?
I'm going to just stand at the foot of the stairs. Rip, we should. Miss Montag asked us not to go up.
What happened when I left you alone for 2 seconds? And I want to turn around and grab Eli's hand this time, and start trying to pull you up the stairs.
Yes, I will relent.
Jacqueline, you lead the charge. You've been in this hallway before. You reach the top. You look down the hallway in the direction that he went. It turns to the right, as you know. You do not see him. He's already rounded the corner.
I will follow, following whatever instinct I have. I mean, my personal guess as a player is towards the office, but I will see if I see any
As you
sign.
turn the next corner, you see just the back of his leg as it rounds the second corner. You're getting closer.
Follow.
As you turn the corner,
I follow.
At the end of the hallway, standing and waiting.
I feel like I don't believe that he's actually here, that this is not just some weird magic or figment or something. I'm just gonna step forth and I reach out to just grab his shoulder or his arm.
He jerks back very quickly. No. Distance.
Am I asleep? It's another dream. You can't be here.
He looks past you to Rip.
I want to say I stopped right inside the whatever room he's in. I'm at the opposite edge of it, just inside the door, trying to simultaneously give them space and not take my eyes off of you, just sort of frozen against the wall.
He's he's at the end of this hallway. It's probably, about 5 feet, 5 to 6 feet in length. You're at the other end of it. He looks past Jacqueline to Rip, and you're seeing someone new?
No, not quite like that. Just answer my question, Sasha. If you would, please. I know that you like to talk in circles sometimes, but how are you here? How are you?
I love you, sister. But if there's one thing that has always bothered me about you, it's that you insist on asking questions that you know the answer to. Will I part with what's rightfully mine? You know the answer. How have I come to be here with you? You know the answer. He takes a step forward.
I kind of pop up my cane and pull the end of it off, and I'm just going to swipe at him with my full strength.
Roll it.
Okay. Okay, 18 minus 1, 17.
Roll damage.
Uh, 6 damage.
As you strike down with your rapier, it embeds into the shoulder of your brother, and his face starts to smile and contort and shift. And it is here. It is angry. Will the three of you roll for initiative?
No.
Oh, no.
A dirty 20 that I'm gonna wish I had saved for an attack roll.
10. Minus 1, I guess, for stress, so 9.
Thank you.
I also got 9.
Rip, you see as almost like almost like you blink for a moment because it's too dusty, and this figure goes from being this very well-dressed, handsome young human to this revenant of a thing long buried, inhuman, yet very human. And as Jacqueline embeds the rapier into his shoulder and does her best to pull it away, it lets out just this guttural, inhuman scream. But it looks like Jacqueline has bought you a little bit of time. Rip, what would you like to do?
Alright, if this thing is clearly bad news, and if Jacqueline's willing to cleave it in half, I don't care who it was. I want to run up at it with the great axe. Just to check. I would like please.
You're using the great axe that you found?
I guess I will use my existing great axe. You know what? No. Is it too late to change my mind?
No, go ahead.
I've got it in
For
my
now-
hands already. It's the last thing I put away.
Yeah, for now
I'm-
it's an axe +1. If
Right.
you want to sort of enter it in your inventory as such. But for now, yeah, just add that 1 to your attack roll.
Yeah, gonna just manually do that. Okay. So I'm gonna try to swing around, and because we leveled last time, not only if I've got this right, would I like to please rage, I would like to rage and declare that this is for sure a reckless attack as I charge down the length of this very brief hallway. It's 2 me lengths. To try to just swipe whatever that thing is in half around Jacqueline. Right. Oh, okay. It's a 23.
23 hits.
I have advantage, so I guess I might as well find out, but let's just... It's actually a 24. Because I forgot it's an axe +1. We're not using that second roll, we're using that first one.
Perfect.
And yeah, I would like to... Ooh, the new axe likes me. Because not only is it a 12 plus 2 for 14, it's another 2 for the rage. So it's 16. And I fling myself up down the hallway and around Jacqueline, and I'm trying to come, like, she cut down into the neck, and I want to just complete the X by coming up one side if I can, and just lodging the axe in the hip of whatever it is.
To steal a quote, Rip, how do you want to do this?
Sorry, my axes, they just love me. I don't, yeah, I wish to just cleave it straight diagonally through from hip through sternum to the shoulder on the other side until that hideous transformed face falls away, pivoting backwards off of the remains of whatever it was that was threatening my friend.
You swing hard, the axe just like you pull Jacqueline aside almost like as you swing back, almost using the back of your arm to sort of push her out of the way as you swing wide, slicing up through the half of whatever this thing is, slicing so hard, in fact, your momentum takes you, bedding the axe into the wall is how hard this swing goes. The top of its body slides from its lower half. Its lower half crumbles lifelessly into the ground. Its upper half slowly looks up.
Ow!
Between your 2 sets of legs towards Eli and bolts towards him, crawling quickly.
Can we talk about
with its
opportunity?
front arms. Sure, use that attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
I might have to sacrifice mine because my axe is lodged in the wall at the moment.
Yeah. I just, like, I'm about to, like, fall to my knees, just like, oh, Sasha, it didn't have to be like this. You know, all that dramatic stuff. And then it moves, and I, like, just kind of, like, jump back, and I'm just gonna, like, jam the rapier down into, like, one of the arms, maybe. Or, like, the hand, just try to catch it there. And let's see what happens. Hey, it's pretty good. 18 minus 1 is 17.
It hits. Roll damage.
5 damage.
You stab down with the rapier, and you're almost dragged with the momentum of this thing as you make contact, and you've stabbed into it, but you have not impeded its momentum. Eli, the creature, makes melee range with you, and by the time it has reached Eli, it stands back up onto newly formed legs. Wielding these disgusting claws in its hands, just these nasty, jagged things, and it rips out towards Eli.
I'm emitting a string of colorful curses. The frog-swallowing son of a motherless...
Eli, does a 21 hit?
Yes, it does.
You feel the claws slash into you for 12 points of damage.
Oh, jeez.
In its second swing,
No.
it's an 18 hit.
Wait, slow down. On that first hit, I'd like to use Hellish Rebuke.
Okay.
I'm going to utter, my eyes will go cloudy white, and I will utter a string of arcane words at this creature as I cast this spell. It makes a dexterity saving throw.
What's the save?
A DC 13 dexterity.
It saves.
Okay, so it takes 4 fire damage on a save.
Okay. And you see the licks of flame sort of like tearing into the loose, saggy, dead skin hanging from its jowls. And the second strike does 18 points of damage, Eli.
Oh my god.
Excuse?
Eli, he takes this hit, stumbles back against the wall. You can see his scout uniform just drenched in blood as he looks up at this creature. He says, "No, no, no," as he drops to the ground and goes, he's unconscious.
The creature stands for a moment, almost as if it's appreciating its handiwork, and then slowly turns, as if whatever reaction sound that Rip and Jacqueline are making right now are music to its ears, and it turns, looking back down the hallway to face the two of you.
I'm guessing it's my turn now, just by order of operations, unless we're doing Eli's death save first.
It's your turn?
As it's turning, I just run and I kind of tackle at it, but I'm not trying to like take it down. I just kind of like clutch it. Like, no, Sasha, you're not this. You're a human. You're a human and you're dead. You're dead. You can't be back because you're a human. So stop. You're not a monster. I'm just trying to talk it down and see if that works.
Roll. Let's see here. Roll a persuasion check, I suppose.
Okay. Come on. Be good. Be good to me. Yeah, it is good. It's a 24. Minus 1 is a 23.
As the creature stalks down the hallway at the two of you, and you're speaking to it, it passes through darkness. The moon has started to rise, and it's sort of shining through different pockets of various deteriorated parts of the house, and it's just passing through these shocks of light from the moon. As it sort of passes through one and comes close, you see your brother's face for just a moment. He looks furious that you would say something like that to him. Why is this me, Jacqueline?
I'm sorry. It shouldn't be. It's my fault. It's not you. It was me, so stop hurting them. Don't kill a child. Come on, Sasha. It's not you. That's something I would do. You wouldn't do that. You're not a killer.
Rip. It's your turn.
Pull the axe out of the wall and
As a bonus action, roll a strength check for me.
Yep. Let's see. Advantage on strength checks while I'm raging, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a 19.
The axe pulls away easily, but just sort of out of the corner of your eye, and whether you really sort of notice it or not, the gouge in the wall bleeds.
I kind of clock that out of the corner, but I'm listening to Jacqueline is saying some nonsense about this being her fault, and I want to barrel myself back down the hallway and try to come down again, and this time I want to go for the head.
Oh, but can I... Joe, just throwing that out there. Can I, like, kind of push Sasha forward so that, like, the axe would hit me, like, in the back instead?
Sure, roll a dexterity check.
I'm okay at dexterity. Okay. Oh, not that good at dexterity. 8 minus 1 is 7.
What'd you roll to hit, Rip?
I...
A lot, I'm sure.
Haven't rolled it yet, have I? I think I just declared it.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
It is a 17. Oh, it's actually... I keep forgetting I have advantage. Oh, it's a 24.
So you swing true, and a few things sort of happen at once. Jacqueline's almost tries to, like, get in the way of this swing and trying to, like, push this creature out of the way. She stumbles, however, and mostly just manages to shove the thing backwards a little bit and loses her balance. The axe just sort of, like, parting just over her head. You might even take a little bit of hair as you swing.
Hair damage.
It doesn't hit her, but...
So it's swooping right over as you've tried to push me outside of the way. The angle I'm coming up towards his head with almost intersects with your hair, right? And then I will hit for...
Roll damage.
It is 8 points of damage.
This black liquid sort of paints the wall as you connect with its throat. It staggers backwards, staring intently at the two of you. Turns and runs around the corner, back towards the stairs that lead to the foyer.
Richten. Rip, you should go after it. I can try to get Eli stabilized.
Can you help him?
Not magically, but I can try the other way.
Maybe the boss has something that'll help. I'll take off after him down the stairs.
Jacqueline, what are you doing?
I'm just trying to staunch the bleeding at this point. He's got that little scarf around his neck, so I'm gonna get that off of him and try to use that. I'm actually using what my brother Sasha would have taught me.
Will you roll a survival check, please?
Oh, I sure can try. I'm glad I have jack of all trades, if nothing else.
Roll your medicine, I apologize.
It's the same either way. I am going to use my inspiration, though, to re-roll it, because it was trash. It's less trash. It's 11.
So you're doing your best to to sort of stop this bleeding from Eli's
On there, Eli.
body, fighting it with all, you know, all the bits of cloth on this young man. He has a, you know, not just the neckerchief, but there's a sash full of the badges, you know, that he's earned from a young career in excelling at scouting. You know, you see, even as you're like pulling the sash off of him to use it to staunch the injury, you know, you see, you know, cave exploration, knot tying, open fire cooking, a small story of this young man who walked into this house with you.
Eli, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. You're a human. Got one thing that, you know, you always do is you survive. Beyond anything else, you persevere, so you're going to survive. You're going to be fine.
Even as you say the words out loud, you know that it's not true. Rip, tearing around the corner, you see no immediate sign of the beast. Running down the stairs, there's nothing. It must be in the parlor.
Gonna barrel straight through. Van Richten!
I'm here.
Watch out, we're under attack! Have I made it to the parlor?
Where are you going?
I'm beelining towards the parlor, wherever, the only place he might have gone where Van Richten's voice is coming from, right?
Van Richten, you enter the parlor. Van Richten is sitting on one knee next to the chair where the portrait had been placed after it fell off the wall. The portrait is no longer there. There is a figure sitting in the chair. Their back to you.
Who's that?
There's no need for alarm, Miss Scrumble, although I heard shouting up the stairs. What is the matter?
The child you lured here might be bleeding to death upstairs, so if you've got something that can help me, and keep an eye out for whatever did it.
Is he?
And who's your friend?
Fascinating.
Fascinating!
What do you make of this, Eli?
I don't know what you mean. You're not talking about my friend, are you? Did you find him upstairs? Is he okay?
Eli stands up out of the chair.
I dropped the axe.
What's going on? Is everything okay?
Ghost of a Kraken, what are you doing here?
What do you mean? You guys went upstairs and I didn't want to be rude, so I went to the parlor.
I reach up, I try to touch his face.
My hands are dirty already.
He feels normal.
If you're here, who did I leave alone with Miss Montag?
Listen, Hosick, was it?
Who's Hosick?
My friend! He was the one I was in the woods with, and he was coming with me, and then he got lost, and we got separated, and then I've been waiting for him, and I heard him when I was in the floorboards, and when I was underground.
Eli, there was nobody there!
He was here! I heard him!
At this point, Van Richten has sort of his long legs sort of stride past the two of you through the parlor door and into the foyer and calls out, Ms. Montag, You'll need it in the parlor.
I gather up the body and kind of close the eyes. Just bring it down with me. And Richten, did Rip, and I get to the bottom of the stairs and I look in, and do I see Eli there?
Of course.
Jacqueline. What's going on?
Okay.
What is going on? And I turn to Van Richten, I'm like, explain. What is going on here?
I have my suspicions. But no conclusive
Then
answers
elucidate
yet.
us. Enough with this waiting for answers I'm holding. Do you see what I'm holding?
A rather pricey looking antique. Holding a large child's porcelain doll.
Are you trying to play a joke on me? Do you think this is funny? My friend is here somewhere. I know he isn't, and you're just playing these tricks. That's still very nice.
Eli. You're all right. You're all right, Eli. That's what matters.
I throw the porcelain doll hard as I can, just at the wall.
Roll a strength check.
I'm not good at that. It's gonna be with my stress a 6. I'm rolling real good. I got one good roll today.
The doll slams into the wall of the parlor and almost slides down, almost, and when it hits sort of the ground, it's actually just leaning back against the wall. Its head sort of drifts down. The portrait next to where you threw the doll, the wall shakes enough, the portrait falls and crashes. And then after a moment, the portrait next to it falls and crashes. The one next to that falls and crashes. The portrait sitting in the chair slowly tilts forward. Hits the floor. The fire in the fireplace goes out. And that's where we'll end this episode of the House of Lament. Hey guys, that was a fun one. Thank you guys so much for playing. Thank you guys so much for watching. Oh boy, that was a fun one. That was good. Hey, we really appreciate you guys being here. This has been just a blast and a joy to play. I hope that I hope it makes you want to pick up the book. Honestly, not to sound all shystery or whatever. I don't know, but man, I like.
How
this
dare
book a
you
lot.
like books and be excited about them, Joe?
Yeah, I like books. I'm crazy. Again, thank you guys so much. I think next week is scheduled to be our last episode. We might do 2 more, just to wrap things up. Thank you, three of you, for going on this spooky, dumb, fun adventure with me. I appreciate the three of you so much. And we will see you guys, well, here tomorrow morning for the dev update. We're going to be demoing a cool new feature for you guys. And then onwards to next week, where we will be bringing you plenty of panicked insanity. See you guys next time. Be safe. Take care of each other. Thank you. Bye.